Hola wafethu shafere sanibona lapha ekhaya ahe abshiyeni nda. My name is Tebogo Sefora and we welcome you again to another episode of Forefathers. This is the show that outlines the epitome of fatherhood. Whatever, we always speak about fatherhood, and right now today with me in studio, well obviously Majida wa iti diploma kaofela, we chill together and we share a lot of things, and today there's something in gore ke tlo share le mfana ka lebitso la gage ke Tebogo Sefora.
Sefora. Don't mispronounce my name. Get Sefora.
Ke Sefora mfana.
Sefora means something totally different. Ne?
Ke mashaya.
There's some pizza mashaya.
Yeah. Ke mashaya, ke pizza mashaya. But anyway, besides that, ke vele ke mashaya.
Never.
So yeah, mfana, let's get into it. Same time. First of all, we're not coming all the way from the dusty streets of Rusty all the way to Josie to the big screen in Fanaga. Tell me about that journey quickly, Yana, before then.
That journey was quite long. If I would go into every detail of that journey, it would take us the whole day, which I don't think we have. So to summarize it, I would say none of this didn't think would be possible. You know, most of the times when you are sitting in that environment with those limited, things that you're limited to like that. Yeah. The pipe dream, like how when you want it, but you getting it doesn't seem possible at the time. And this is probably one of the reasons why I moved from there to say, like, go and check or it's like that. So when I got this side, I started off doing the extra and stuff like that, and that also sparked the thing. So this thing is actually possible. There are people doing it. So it's possible, It also made me realize it's not easy. It's very difficult. So that's now made me go or want to go to school for it. Yeah. Because the funding just this thing, I had to get a job first. I got a job and then I funded the dream from the job. So after
the dream has always been there.
The dream has always been there. If the mopo would be the other person. And stuff like that. So the dream has always been there. And then guys got to school from Sgela. After school sharp, I started getting auditions. I got a small role. I go Bettina way to now the dream feels like it's alive. Like the dream it seems like it's possible. But now it was hindered by this one thing that I livelihood but now the span because now I can't go to auditions because again 9 to 5. Sometimes you get an audition 11 o'clock and boss or a go audition and he's like, hey, okay, sharp via and I believe in you, whatever, and I'm like, yes, I have the best boss. And now the auditions need like 3 days in a row and it's like in future every day. And even the other guys are like, why does he get to leave? We also have dreams and stuff. And future understood. So I was faced with this one decision, this life-changing decision of it's either you let your dream go to make a living or you leave this livelihood and chase the dream. I pondered on that for like 2 years. But when I finally made the decision for it to go via, I was like, via. My mom was like, well, sure, yeah. I'm going to plan again. I'll tap a via, sure. When they spoke to my manager, I get type the letter already. I'm like, say it's what so I'm not gonna be working here in the next month. And he's like, oh sure, if it's like you have problems, like we can sort them out. We can give you leave if you need leave. I'm like, I need permanent leave. It's like on the plan. Nope, I cannot plan. Because my thing is I just wanted to be available, I just wanted to be available for these things, for the audition and stuff, because it felt like I was wrong. After leaving there, I faced dry. Plus I left 2021. This was during COVID. Now everybody's losing their job. Everything was slow. Like what's how long? I think for my 2 years, now I'm like, you know what? Because the panel thing, because of whatever that I experienced as Spanisaka, you can get span again in corporate. Oh, okay. So I'm like, maybe I should go back there. As kissing guys. At some point, they were there, bro. I'm not gonna lie. They were there. Like, the guy, like, since I space, but then I was like, nah, if I'm gonna get another job, I need to get a job within the environment. So I spoke to, I don't know if you know Khomotso 20.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I spoke to Khomotso 20, very lovely lady, because Kene Velanzam Pusha from the Sam Kileko, this corporate world. On some, hey man,
nice.
you can do this, you can do that, you know, you have this, you have that, your personality is great. Do you know this, that? And I'm like, okay, cool. So she took me under her wing as like my mentor for like Wantalo High.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So at the time she was working at this production as a casting director, but obviously you can't necessarily just, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and I got, hey man, the internship you know, that's behind the scenes, you feel like easy, you know, some things. And she's like, you know what, they do take the intern from time to time to come through. And then I went through as well at some lady, they our producer, and I'm like, hey, do you guys have anything at all, like as the internship? I don't mind, I can just volunteer even just to be in the environment, because my thinking was, if I'm in the environment with these people, now my ears are like, I'm within the conversations,
to it.
I'm within the conversations, you can hear how you can so sharp. They were like, okay, yeah, we're starting next month, whatever, you can come through. So I came through because art department.
Oh, you know,
I did art department go that show. I did at department for the show for about 4 months, I think, you know, and I learned so much in there because I know now I'm in the environment where you're sitting there, go VT, and you're watching the screens there. And I'm not only looking at the set, because that's what I was responsible for. The set, the props. But now I'm also looking at the performances as well. I'm learning through what these guys are doing. And I'm, why is he doing this, that? Because I also have a script and I can see how they're executing it. I'm learning. Now I'm like, this was the best decision ever, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, now we get the thing, the show thing, exactly. You know, towards the end of the season, you're thing as we're shooting it, but no, they won't be renewing this thing for season, whatever. Now, but now I'm like, I have the experience at department. It means I can go to another production and say, I started making those inquiries. We let some guys from your show as well on some, hey man, didn't sang that. It's like, I hate it, child, you know, little since one child. So now, I'm not going to mention any names, but now, now, the most amazing thing happened on that same show, by like end of season rap party. Rap party, and this guy na actor got this show. Lunga Shabalala was part of the cast there. He's sitting there by the bar there, chilling by himself. I'm going there to get a refill. Because I was working with them. You know, when you're doing art department, you go about propang, the phone, you do whatever. So obviously the relationship is established from there. Yeah. So it's like, hey man, I know how we were actor because we were on the same show last week actor. So are you still acting? And I'm like, am I still acting? You still eat, you know? And it's like, oh yeah, man, you know, auditioning go champions, and they're looking for a character. I think you'll be perfect for that character. So let me give you the number, the casting director. Call him and tell him you got the number from me. And then I'll just put you in the room. Just motor audition. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, I want to do it. Sure. I left immediately after that. I was like, like we're thinking rap title man king. It was on a Saturday. On the Monday, I came back and I'm like, let me call this guy. I called him. Hey man, Sharp Tebogo Sefora. I got your number from this person. I hear you looking for a speaking actor. Can I come through and try? You know? Yeah. And it's like, yo man, you're in luck. We're actually looking for someone like that. We can't be doing auditions. Where you based? Kamchela is like, okay, come through. So I got audition. I'll send you the script and the location and everything, and I'm like, cool. And send there like this guy, and then I went to see him. And when I got there in future, I was like, you know what? Everything that I learned from watching these small screens behind the scenes, because I go at department, when I apply it, if anything, I'm gonna overact. I'm gonna overact. Okay, tone it down a bit. You know, you don't want someone to say, "Give me more." So I'm like, I'm gonna overact. You know, if so I was like, I went there and did that, and the guy was like, "This is awesome." And only to find out they were actually looking for this for a couple of months. They were looking for this character for a couple of months. The character that I did at Tapelo Mudise Go Champions. That character. That was my first official, you know, like role. And I acted with so many big veterans. Now when I look back from like Jenny Elia, this small Ntwana from Rusternburg, looking at this thing and wanting to do it. And getting that call back, amen, or guy, you know, the role is yours, man. Like I didn't even, the best feeling ever. I didn't even call anybody. I just sat with myself and I cried. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn. It hit home. Because for 2 years I was not working, bruh. And I'm like, this is the work now that I'm doing. This is it.
Mara all along, child. O lady ene. What was she saying about all that?
Bruh.
2 years ago, was spanning. How was the situation? Or lady nasa kulelo kore, pela no. I told you, don't you wanna?
My mom is the most amazing person, man. My mom, like every single time, she's like, I don't worry, man. It will come together. I believe in you. I believe in you. Don't give up.
That's a good support.
I fell into some depression as well, because now you like, and then I got into an accident immediately after I left there. I got into an accident. Now I don't even have the money to fix the car. The car's just sitting there by the mechanic. And now the luxury or the comfort, now that's also taken away. It's like, I'm tired. Every single time he says that in Shaka, I lost weight.
Home,
yeah, exactly. So my mama she was amazing, man. She was just like, hey, man, just keep going. Even when I felt like I gave a grand, she'll be like, nice. Some of the family members were like, don't worry, man. If you need something, tell us. And that's also very hard as a man to go to someone to say, hey, man, so kopong send something, keep or transport, or like it came to a point where it was so bad that I had to convince my son.
Yeah.
Because I cannot you understand? And that's why sometimes you look at us and you think lucky or you think maybe deserve, but you don't know the backstory, True. There'll be times when I wake up and then he would wake up excited to go to school. And our school was about like Zagaya Tex. And Zagaya Tex was 23 rands. I did not have 23 rands. I school. I'll be like, I'm man when I go shop, man. We got to try to flu.
Lena believe or no time over.
I time I be fair like a fees. The whole while, bro. It's killing me, it's killing me.
Maran, I'm challenged then. Becoming a father, how did that change your perspective in life? So in that.
Yeah, I think that thing is not. I don't know if it's the same for women, but then for another moment you hear those words that you're going to be a timer.
Yeah,
you automatically fall into this alpha because every single thing that this child will need now depends on you. Not to say mama had to contribute, but then that's your responsibility as the head. You understand? Sure. Because even you can be in a setup where mama has spani, but there's always a papa no guy.
There you go, exactly.
You know what I mean? Not papa guy. If you find one study mama high, like papa no guy. Exactly. So, but then if you find a child that's really the question. So. Yeah. First thing is, this is the, like sometimes we get scared, we get really scared. I know now I was very, very scared. I was like, hey.
First time here.
Hey. Yeah. It's like, what's long no? But the scary part is that, because we're South Africa, the scary part is, am I going to be able to provide for this person? Am I ready as a dad? Because there's too many challenging things as well with raising one. There's also, because my child will go primary school. You need to be ready, for all the challenges. There's also those things. How you gonna react? Mama touched my bum.
Exactly.
We can't there has to be a way in which you carry yourself as the parent and not just Tebogo. You know what I mean? Because that's not what you need to do. There has to be that parent element to it. So it's just a whole, like you change entirely, bro. You change entirely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So during that time in Jaga, when you realized, okay, Sharp, I have a child, and in Donaga, I need to make sure that I provide. But you can see, in terms of spanny wise, it's not going well.
Mm-hmm.
So when during that situation, what was going through your mind? What were you saying to Ntwana?
Amen. I keep believing more. Like I always hear people saying how important to communicate with your kids and be transparent and to be open with your kids. But I think certain things kids are how as Motswadi, kids are how as Motswadi ka ska batla wa tlo imetsa ngwana na ngwana is sitting le bana ba bang with the knowledge ya papa wa perish.
Sure.
Yeah, because
just let the child be the child.
Let's just let the child be the child. It's up. That's why the one thing is I could see the difference between myself and my peers after having a child.
Yeah.
Because now I want it because of the responsibility. We don't want it the same way. Like even if and they're like, am I more 2 minutes? And then you find yourself sitting after 2 hours, like, I buy it, I'm fit.
Yeah.
You know, the guys were like, you like your fire. And you're like, you know, because you know. Exactly. So I didn't have any conversation with them. I just worked, like I can say, make it sure or whatever it is, in the time if I can, I do it. And then if I can't, I'll just postpone. Like you know, exactly. And then that's just something, because he's still small, but then there'd be times where he's like, I know another confusion, you know, it's like some pie. Because there'd be times where okay, I go tilling and then withdraw go tilling. So to him, that's you buying money or something. It's like and then like now you need to explain that, you know. I'm like, it's like go buy another car because we had this money box, you know, where you put coins there. And I'm like, I can actually, it's like because I understand you. It's like, if I front I kid, you know, patra and sim can't do I can't you know, yeah, and that goes to show you how some conversations, he won't comprehend. So there has to be a way in which you have it. That's like high, like just gonna postpone. I felt like a month end, I was like Saturday. But the one thing with them is Mahopola. If you say month end, if you say Tuesday, I don't know what's one day I was saying like today over Tuesday. Yeah. I want to eat Tuesday because I saw so yeah. So man, yeah, like it's we find other ways how you can financially be there, and I think that's what my time at Abaya is a mistake is that because of this financial burden that you know how you're carrying, meet the obligations still bad thing financially, you also become absent physically. Because Linda, there was a time where I'm like, yeah, but you know, I want to go there, but then it could feel like another 2 weeks or a month someone. Yes, and Kaya Marco Fitla so and on the happy much what you hide about what you maybe my grace. He'd be like, nah, that's what I say, like, I need to at least get the groceries or something. I must go there to something, you know. So sometimes maybe that's why. I'm not saying it's okay. And I'm saying like we need to stop that. We need to know especially when they are very small. For them it's a ukai demand.
You just need to be there.
For them it's a ukai demand, you know. And because you like, I can't go there because next, I can't go there because next, and that is sometimes it will make you stay away for too long. Because if next not next for 2 years, it means if that was my thinking or my mentality, I would have stayed away for 2 years. Well, understand exactly. So the point is just sama I batla go roga fela because ba bang ba rogana like ba bang ba rogana ke isene se batlang se sta se o ba go tsene ga ba bule gate o bo bona ka fence ka ra go batla o tshwere next boa, you know, na ngwana o jang.
I want to ask you this question. I don't know if it's going to be a bit deep or it's going to hit home. How's the parenting le meongwana? Are you guys in a good relationship? You know, there's a time whereby, you know, you want to see the child, but obviously because of, you know, the stumbling block, which is sometimes the baby mama, this and that and that, I'm not able to do this for my child because mama and how's your relationship with the mother of the child?
The relationship is incredible.
Awesome.
And nice. I can say she's also doing an amazing job with him.
Big ups to her. Big ups.
An amazing job, because at the time Yanesi was still working, so she was covering that up. Something young shopong exactly. So it's things like that. That's why we all have a role to play. True. Because at the end of the day, it's about raising this little person and not about whatever personal relationships that we may have or might not have. True. You know, so and man, she's doing quite amazing. I'm not even gonna speak anything ill of her or anything, you know. It's whenever I get what no thing, the holidays, you know, and stuff. Nice. It's amazing.
So what comes into mind in Jaka when you hear the stigma that is attached to Rona? gore men are trash?
I agree and I don't agree. You know, I agree and I don't agree. Reason being, I went to the doctor the other day. You know, the doctor was of Malawian origin.
Okay.
And decent guy, utlile ka mo ke doctor wa go yena ha o kula wa o seta o ba mnate. We have surgeons as well. We have the teacher, the lecturer as well.
Yeah.
Baba Tlango, Uganda, Ghana, whatever, you know, Nigeria. And then we have people that are saying, you know?
Yeah.
It means and now all 100 are high. It's like now they have the umbrella ya gore ma foreigner ba re senyetsa ba tsela America ba etsang you know. And, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not saying gore in this bag of potatoes there's not 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 to the bad, you know, and for you to say the whole bag is trash, you know what I mean? So the whole thing, men are trash, yes, to an extent. The men by etsang that nonsense are trash, but if you say men are trash and you affect like
everyone now, exactly, yes.
But I think we wear the shoe because whenever they say men are trash, they're talking about the men that are actually trash. If we are about how trash, you know what I mean? If you know when you come into the party with regards to your responsibilities, then why remain a trash?
That means you are trash. If you are taking it personal, then that means
the shoe fits. Apara Cinderella. And that's why I get like, we have this thing. Zimbabwe and we can get that. I get it's coming from an anger ya gore but every single crime is associated or affiliated with some, you know, foreign national, and then we all some abaye kaofela or kaofela bona ba matlakala kaofela bona ba blind. And if you know gore you are a foreigner and you here legally and you're doing things the right way, if they saying foreigners must go home ba senya abare wena. No, we're not talk. They're going to be affected by all this on some. Now we must stay. If you're saying we must stay, it means you're saying all of these guys. Baba saying must stay because you know. But what few I can, but reputation everyone, and that's unfortunately the case with regards to the men are trash notion.
Yeah.
Well, because there are men that are trash. I'm not even gonna flinch with saying that. Maybe Nagiruti saw there's someone that was trash too, you know, and trash or but the opinion are high. But then if the shoe fits, then you know. So if you by that men are trash thing, I because another
thing in you know this thing no, I'm a present father. Why? In what way? How present are you? Babangwe moto o present financially, physically, and stuff like that. You know, because I think. It needs to be addressed because sometimes we confuse it a bit. How you because you provide for the child. School fees, and you think no, all the time you know, also physically, you know, that's one thing that also needs to be addressed.
I think with that again, it's a if it's you know what I mean? Like, you don't want the same things, and certain things that mean something to you may not mean nothing to me. So, when about relationship being, it's like I show me how facile or how right.
Yeah, true.
And there are people that live like that, and that works for them, you know. It's not the life for everyone. And there are some that will be like, I'll be with you through thick and thin. And then you still have their friends going, yeah. So to some people, the whole money thing is the alpha and omega for them. And even if and then house span, they don't see you.
They don't see you, exactly. They don't appreciate you.
And now because of that, men have this pressure now, you need to have money to be seen. You need to have money to have a voice, you know.
That's the problem, yeah.
Yeah, so now the pressure, I don't have money, so I don't have a voice. So now that's why and they feel like their money is their voice. Because you'll find when you're now phone on a little man to sa bone ngwana ka ntlo bona ngwana lenga wa ntse go romela tšhelete mo se ka ntlo batla
exactly
a ka go romela tšhelete ka Father's Day are ke present father cause o romela nyoko ngwana wa para nice mara how on upset father ka tšhelete ya hao you understand what I mean so this is very tricky hence yalo because then it's a lose it depends on like motho na le ene and o mo kae mentally and emotionally as well because that's where flop etsahala mo teng that's where not change mo teng you can be with a girl or a woman more life in your house and you'll find that this woman the way I outsourcing a thing or whatever that she believes in Luena ya affect if she likes nice things you feel a pressure regarding nice things
true
if she likes money you feel pressure out but if you find this person that says fit to take your time will come just be consistent with whatever that you're doing and then like how it la feel o pressure because you know this person these circumstances is what I can offer her now and she understands and she knows it hana pressure hanrasetsi wa ntlhalohanya ba bang batla go rasetsa mo ke ndo se ke ntse ke o tla go thabile ke tla go reka koloi baby a kumela ka montle a kre MK1 a kre City Golf and you're proud of it you like this is my first car ke spanne I shebe so gawan because I know tsamaya ka di Uber Black or pick up ka Benz ke the previous guy she's like finally aircon since it's just swipe first year that you know they downplay your achievements if you find yourself around people like that whether your friends relationship excuse yourself because utobale pressure unnecessary
true
utobale pressure unnecessary so I would advise le majita to stay away from this thing ya gore le basadi ba sa kenya pressure fete gona zaga marwana o teng gona zaga marwana o teng and they need more than money because I think so I can say I grew up until my dad passed away he was okay you know he was okay not rich or whatever but he was okay I couldn't see if there was any problem with like whatever I could ask for a bicycle you know but what I remember I don't even know or you know I don't think that matters to me the only memories that I hold on to is those memories you know and when I got hope my 2,000
I never
or 10,000 or 100,000 I got hope you know
and what you appreciated the most was the time a little thing
you know this is like the most important thing and I don't only say this to Majid I also say this to Basadi as well because sometimes if we want it we being realistic and then now if the shoe fits as keys I'm not saying everyone but I'm saying sometimes Basadi is one of the reasons why the guy doesn't go and see the thing because then you'll find the child because you'll find that you know Poshia and then after Nala Poshia Kabana I meet Aus Anna. And then now Aus Anna, this one doesn't like the fact that Aus Anna no. And she's like, there
you go. Yeah.
And I'm like, why now I can't spend time in the comfort of my own environment because when you don't like Anna, you know, this like I'm not only saying this to Banna time is very important also to Basadi to say time is very 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 important especially if the allow the environment allows because sometimes it doesn't there's just so many factors that contribute to the thing or sometimes and we can't force it you know sometimes like you can try but maybe legally or otherwise you know
in whichever way.
If that go tronkong ba tla tlo mona ding eno ka steng ona mi se tronkong ke dio man dio se ngwana ba tlanko Sun City
no mara ska bua ya lo ntsa ka phela a no le time o le go tshele ngwana ga ba tlo bona
it will also depend gore mo kanang kang fit you know like
mara go sala ntsa ka o le time at
the end of the day I don't think like you know o can take for some bua now again I said to you gore I have memories of my dad being there I have memories of him coming down the passage washing the car together or going to the shop I have those memories ngwana o tla ba le memory wa le time la behind bus
Ebza ska ira yalo njaka.
Behind bars.
Ngwana ska tsama bona time la gae because time ali behind bars.
That's why depending hore mo kana kan there's stages someone ha hola. Gona le development. Gona le development stage. Na hana wena mo side akena tso kile ngwana so go tronko nga tlo amfe so come on traumatize bana. And ka ibona eo maybe ngwana munyane ha bone ke motsa o sale o tsebile ka thedibeko. O sale o tsebile ka thedibeko tronko. Mara thomare 6 7 8 they speak about every single thing they see. They talk about it, and there's a reason why Limo TV. There's never a show bontang bodrongo elia bana ba under 16. You understand? Legile monopoly is finally trongo manete. So this is something that you can't expose a child to. So we physically and 8 years. They speak about everything. Lo na go le munyane no sheba Dragon Ball Z only 7 years, and that will be the only thing you speak about, Kausan. So they will come back and speak about their experience.
I still say it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
And again, then I'm saying, at the end of the day, you want to be a role model to them. You want to set an example.
True.
And maybe that's why it's my personal opinion. By saying you know. But now I wouldn't want my child to see me in that state, like HD, and I don't even know when I'm coming home, because those are the questions that you would get from one. Also, you know, I get wrong when saying, hey, just keep them away, man. Like work our phone rates and just tell them, okay, guy, just lie, whatever, until they're old enough to understand. This is the situation, and when you're old enough, if you want to go see him, you can go see him.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, when are some of the life lessons that you've learned from the time obviously you'd want to also pass them on to your child?
I would say in my time of elections, so I can't say I've learned that much because I wasn't conscious enough to learn anything. It was just a papa thing, you know, because when my dad passed away, I was like 11 to 12. You know, I was 11 turning 12 when he passed away. So I know the one thing that he always made sure was that lapa le grand, you know, like kola being sharp.
Yeah.
Kola being sharp, and there'll be times where they would tackle difficult issues like the old lady, and you know, there's a way in which you tackle those things as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes the lesson is what not to do. You know?
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
you
true.
know what I mean? So
Yeah,
sometimes you'll find the lesson is do it this way. And sometimes the lesson from your observation is don't do this. You know?
Yeah.
You'll be seeing them do it, and you're like, I'm not gonna
don't touch.
No, this one, no. You know? Yeah, so there's those but then like the main thing for me is that it's just take care of home. You know, even if what's waiting, but make sure set, you know, because my chance this is why basadi ba buy ba le bona o gotsi today ya watla high o feletse go brapiti o feletse go mzala, you know, wa nwa, and then o tla high o tlhapetse o tsere go phelang re robetse ka tlala o sontse ba do tlhaba go re zo tla le shabo tla le go ya phela o tla go tsere ka maphu o tla go tsere so ka maphuka ka bo mathupa ke exactly. So but now I'm like flop, you know, flop. So I would say before you do anything for yourself or for the chomi or for basadi, because rata basadi, you know, before you do things, make sure lapeng safe, sharp, secure, everybody sharp, school fees separate, everything is grand, you know, no chaza batho ba bane kae o nwa di ing no kana le botlo la ing na ke nwa ing wabo, but then kontlung re bola ke tin ya ing tin ya that every day ke tin ya what wabo. So once bana ba hodi out to like give them experiences. That's why the one thing that your kids will always remember is the experiences. So make sure you give your kids experiences.
That I want women out there to also understand. Even though as a father, you don't have money or you're not making money at that time, that mustn't take you less of a man. You know, then they put those unnecessary yes.
Unfortunately, the world that we live in, it's that. It's not even about basadi fela. Loruna is emergency. Sometimes go kena go majiteng o bonala gore ga ona zaka ba o tsaka tselanyana engwe, you know. That's why you get each to their own. Ge le gore wena you feel gore I can't date this, that I can't. I guess who blame you know, as mosadi or na ke batle monna o so ke batla monna o so. That's fine. Ke preference ya hao. Sa kwata le na ke batle mosadi o so ke batla o so. It's about kare. O sanjasa like wa put shame ile gore king e wrong ka o so wabo. Cause king e wrong ka o sa bere king lwena. You know, lwena king e wrong ka o stand ditlhako, o stand koloi king e wrong ka. You know what I mean? But then it's like it's an umbrella, man. It's not just kabasadi, it's everywhere. Lwena re blebile so re kopana someone a fihle mo and then ali yang will like emergency sometimes about somehow. So people have put this thing as Zaga and they've made it the center of everything, and that's why we find people doing what they wouldn't normally do. But ba hlobula no go di epung tsa kai ba shika di ing ka mehala le theka go kerekeng, you know. Like one tlalo ha ba shi the only what tsa bona tse di app tse ba di bo. So people are doing that all in the name of Zaga, because you wouldn't just do that for fun. Well, it's a Zaga, you know, what tweka for Zaga, you a stripper for Zaga, you sell ing for Zaga. My gents are trying to over the phone. Give for Zaga. Zaga. Give one of my time I don't have the pressure or most of the other over a concefer so when about a panda here, what a panda moon like one tell so this like if ever you I'm not saying Uskabata Zaga, but then let go of the idea Yakore. Because whatever money that you have is sustainable. You can do this and this and that. No, it's polo sharp. But you like Mercedes, you know, and now you're doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Another transport, you probably will fit. Maybe you'll fit a lot, but you'll fit. So yeah, like we need to stop putting pressure on ourselves with regards to nyogo. And just pela life thing. If you're working on something to get more money, then be patient with yourself. Be patient with your partner. Because this thing has broken so many families, has broken so many friendships, relationships as well, to the effect we're not on a chelete. So you know, and sometimes it gets annoying. Then now you know I could see 2 years. You know, say you life and you're like yeah, no, no, okay, cool. Yeah, well, so this is like it's saying this thing. So just be patient as long as that's how saying then that's fine, because so you know, and you like as you guys 1, 2, 3 because I can ask Lena span. And I don't know how they've done things, you know, the system has tipped the scale to a point where whatever that a man can do, a woman can do. With regards to corporate, I want to emphasize this.
I was about to say that,
because and physically it's very, very ish. Physically it's almost impossible, you know, like it's 0 to none, like, you know, guys, like
hey, you never know, Panagon.
But if the shoe fits, if Bautrapa Konklungulimjita, sorry, reporter come policing. You know,
if one Elizabeth is a reporter.
Yeah, reporter come policing, and hopefully but also but then it's the skills are like this now, you know, meaning if I can get a job, it means the next woman can't get a job. For the fact our house span, you need to understand why the next span. Exactly. Guy when us so na lwen. You know, and I'm not saying it's a competition or it's a when I tit for tat or whatever. It's a in fact to understand that we're living in a world now that I say you're span in fact. I am not spanning because I give battle span. I guess battle. You know, guess battle man has thing. And you know this because learn how span. You know, so I really want people to be lenient when it comes to that, because it's very, very sensitive. It's not nice. You know, the world is very unkind to you. Even the parents, you know, You know, because we got robala until 11 or robala tseng batho ile mereko like nna ke spane fetsa like ke khathe
o gefela o relax
yeah so ga bula matlo feta mo festering mo jarateng re bona ro teng you know so the world is very unkind to you go sa bereke so are being lenient re be wabo
let's be kind to each other. Let's be kind to each other. We go through a lot, man. There's a lot that we're going through. We know even women as well, they also go through a lot. You know, I mean, you know, but let's be lenient to each other. You know, you know, all together.
Yeah.
So now, on challenge, when how present are you in a sense ya gore gona no ngakra bona raspana no sitlile for the holidays in neng mo ka baya ntwana ina lo ena waya or
waya doesn't stay in the same province and has a thing go difficult go bona because of span like you saying and the distance you know cause ka se beta baya waya fela wa boya you know and because ke za mo pandela
true
you'll find during the week span over the weekend kana the gig is somewhere go Free State somewhere go Limpopo ntona go Rusternburg so I can't really but whenever I get a chance I do because I remember there was a time when I had a gig go Muruleng and I passed by man like you know I had a gig on Friday and Saturday late in the same kasi so they booked for us to sleep there Saturday morning on the morning at the gig I will see you on the Saturday hi let me just go kilo spend nako nyana ilo bona nyana in between that most of you ke tlo bona nyana 2 seconds ke ya via happy na le gig jumpers so I try to see him when I can you know I just try to see him when I can and holidays like I said my hana flop the holidays wa tla bala go sister like cause sister like le bana le bona happy just to be there with them you know at least ke tseba gore now he's closer now whenever I get a chance I go le no week ke simo I try by all means because that's why like we need to understand how there are challenges guys you know there are challenges it's not always gore motho senze like o teng because now you need to understand gore ha ke le present there's a possibility ya gore e ke le always there there's a possibility gore zaga yona ka se
ka gona go provide
there's a possibility gore zaga ka se beteng cause ke cry ka cause ke plagile you understand so the absence ya how if it justified by you know like when tlhaloganye traceable is a traceable absence then it's understandable
ke yona ntwe ne ke bua gona no kere some fathers in ntwe ne re buang ke some fathers actually they think gore no being present ke taba romela zaga whatever that is you know so people wa bona so at the end of the day we all need gore re zame gore at least unneda Zaga you said it gore la ka romela motho 2000 ngwana ka se gopole
10,000 e ile jo ngwana ka se gopole ile gopole gore di mana le teng kae wabo and like a kitse if ke topic e botlhoko e le teng hape wabo because we have a kitse maybe ke like this thing ya gore batho ba majensa ba provide for bana ba bona ne I understand gore the government is also involved with that you know our government is involved with that or the state is involved with that not only here but everywhere around the world where there's the maintenance in Nyana you know so a lot of guys khona Nyana are suffering with that and o kra lo motho teng wa batla go ba teng motho teng wa batla go ba teng but then because of the relationship come khona ka teng go kra ba shapana ka bana and stuff like that you know and now you out there you now paying and this is something that you know gore I would have done this voluntarily if only the relationship between you and I if there should never be an involvement 1 2 3 and a lot of women have now weaponized that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's stop doing that, man, as parents. That's why
a lot of women have started weaponizing that now on some without having the proper conversation first.
Yeah.
You need to understand how relationship once ke ba le ngwana lwena. I mean ngwana o ha swa ka lwena. Ngwana wa families are all.
Yes.
Ngwana wa family how? Ngwana wa family ya. The same way I have grandparents and uncles and whatever and you have them as well. Ngwana o na le bona le yena. So the conversation doesn't end here.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? If ever wale flop wena le ngwana or wena maybe uphe o absent le na gape maybe le wena wa thoeka kitse and I feel like ngwana ka ra safe mo. And if I have a conversation with you at Rutluane, it means I don't involve the authorities before you wa talk wa yena.
Yeah.
And when I speak to your mom and say mama ona ha ona kitse ke mona mo di social media mo ntsha matswele a ke tlhaloganya ke example le blind for ngwana ke la go go buelena only also utlwale ke gona ke tla reng you know what social worker
I don't want a social work.
Yeah, you understand? But women they jump straight to maintenance in But like sitting there in the office like Nasa. You sitting there in the office like Nasa. You know? Like young, like you know. So there's also something that we all need to be mature, man, and everything that we're doing, we need to do for one. Because one of the question because the show you know, there are those shows that like those are embarrassing, bro.
It is. It's very embarrassing.
Those are embarrassing, you know.
So when Antoana, if you like obviously, I mean, you in the limelight, he sees you on TV, and how is he taking that? Is he taking that well? Like,
yeah, I think everybody is still adjusting to that. Myself, I'm still adjusting to that. You know, Mariana, he's quite excited about it. You know, obviously, it's like I said, when you're young and in that environment, it's not something that is, you know, possible in a way. You know? I don't think he even thinks like it's just like when I lamu and then later, like, you know, because there was a time when I took him to work as well, like I know, I got some like just sitting there go VT act when it's like just sitting there like okay,
doesn't understand like
fades out of high, he's just bored, you know. Yeah, so it hasn't really sunk into him because even when I'm with him and people bang him about the picture and stuff, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. It's like you know, like why guy, like why can't the king, like, you know, he doesn't understand it for now. People like how do you feel about it? And it's like and it's like Spanish. He doesn't understand. It's like Spanish hive. It's like okay. You know, he doesn't think much of that. I don't think he's at that level yet where it's really registering. This is what the time was doing. And I think the family as well. You know, if it will always be out next door.
Yeah.
You always be Tebogo front opposite. You'll always be there. You get in school. You won't even get, because I can tell you, I travel so much with regards to gig. But it's very rare for me to get a booking in Rusternburg, where I'm from.
Is it?
Where would you pay to see Mutakamo next door? Which because you want your cousin to have your back at the end of the day, because that's where you're gonna go back to should things go south.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting there and they feel like you were all around Usatli and you need to come there because now there's a Spanish now. You know, I can't necessarily just come go next door for free unless if one Talohan is really that kind of a close relationship. Look at one Talohan, Bukangwa no more. Bukangwa no more, Gukasia high.
Not for start bukaning.
Bukaning, please.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when Anjaga in this situation, sir, when I came about you wanna blow or do you feel
I am working on that because if it's possible.
Yeah.
If it's possible, you need to, because there's certain elements that only the mom can bring to the table. There's only certain elements that dad
as a father can bring
to the table. You know, expecting a dad to play mom and dad is really not ideal. You know, it's really not ideal because only got like there's roles to play, and I don't think there's certain things in as the dad or abadi grandma wena. Because sometimes muruta, even without putting her down or putting him down, umurute so umuruta ka the action style.
That's how when self, yes, true.
You know, they will watch you every day doing the dishes. Cause I know mukrat let's mates. Yeah, what skotlo sa how more skotlo. This is what you do, skotlo.
So I'm also gonna do this.
So monkey see monkey do. You know, true. So there's certain things that they can learn from Wena as the mom, especially, you know, if it's not the same gender. You know, there's certain things that they can get from the mom, whether get protection, whether get whatever it can be, whatever it is, you know. So there's an elemental timer that you need to bring in. There's an element mama that you need to bring in. My son knows playtime, daddy. And we're having a great time, but mama, it's mammography. Exactly, you know. And if he does get hurt, I'll be like, let me kiss him there. And it's like, yeah, grand, you know?
Yeah.
But if you leave it come net, don't fit us so I go mama high, you banana, go mama. You know, because I can't provide that.
Yeah.
I can't instinctively they know okay, when I need this, go. I go to Robala. I go. I go so there's elements that we both need to balance each other like that. It's very, very important. If they grow up in an environment, it's tough, but they build these walls, and these are the women that we deal with today. You know, because background now you can see that's why I so not in a bad way, but then you know it's a
the certain signs. Yeah,
it's the certain signs. Okay, you know what? I can see there was a missing element, or if there was, it was a very bad role model. Even with the gents as well, you can see okay, no, you can see hormone element is also. That's why it's important when I, as a parent or as an adult, to act a certain way. Like you asked me, I heard about this thing. What did you think? How did you feel?
Yeah.
There's a whole lifestyle change now. There's certain things that I can't just do because
exactly.
I know the time. Because I know Moto is looking every single thing. I stopped smoking at 2021 in fact, because there was a picture of him, mama hands, and then I want to ask for a toy. So, so now like I can't smoke in front of this one anymore. I had to quit, you know. So it's things like that, small little things. When you do this, that. Some environments they abusive. Some even go way worse. Baba intimate we're gonna get the reports of school on Corona to remember only to find out Corona we tweet we're not so it's very important to guard how you act. Yeah. So make sure both parents are present, because we can sit here and talk about Matayama, which is fine, but there are women that also have babies. And then she carries on to be the girl.
Yeah.
Since an ID party in the Tlapo, shampoo, whatever, look good, go to days, yeah, Cape Town, no. Since one amudena Naguela, Guahatoma grade 1, one was a grade 3, no. You know, Mama Watla fella, hi, Mama, no shop, and then out.
Yeah.
But they must say the one thing, you know, and we can't sit here and say women are trash. You know,
we don't say that.
We can't sit here and say that. But they must say one thing. So let's make sure we all come to the party like that. To bring your element, I'll bring my element as well. And if our cause as Papa Wana, whether together or we're not together, understand how I'm saying this from a point. Yeah, amen. You can't behave like that. Oh, unalengwan. So yeah, that's what it means. That's exactly what it means.
Understand?
That's exactly what, because then I can't do certain things because no second time.
Exactly.
I can't.
So
if I say to you, don't wear that, mama homoto, you can't. You want it. In a hana when if you would have phone, we're gonna go TikTok or grab my how mole. I run to the remark, you're gonna be like, no, your body are high, boss.
Yeah.
You can't. You're gonna be like, mama, mama's a picture you. So that's the future how with regards to everything we post on social media. You post like this. Hey, what's your body count? We're not 35. You know, the internet doesn't forget. It means 4 years after now, 10 years after now, 20 years after now. That video was still circulating. We're like, hey, mama, you more TikTok or body count to say 50. I get to you know. So we need to be very careful. I don't think that would be nice to anybody. So we need to be very careful with how we behave and how we carry ourselves. It might be fun in games, because now how it succumbs to the bullying in Koskolong because of your actions.
True. Oh yeah. So tell me, Jack, I'm child. Do you still want to grow your family, or you feel like
12?
Yeah.
12.
Hey, are we got this key?
Like what? 12.
Ejo, officially go 12.
I'm probably going to need more than one wife, because Kimamo said what today go to offer 12. Talk as tip. No, but not 12, man. I want a big family. I want you know.
Because now I'm asking that question, you know, also relating to the industry. You can see how our industry is. It fluctuates. So we also need to make sure we're sharp financially. That's why do you feel like the way you link thing what we could no with some okay get manage.
That's why now I've passed that stage. I've broken the system. I get doing more fascinating. Like zake control decision stack or control the ziggy. Because like a lot of families will be so much, but to afford so many things if they were to downsize. If you were to downsize, you could afford so many things. But now, because you want to live in this house, drive that car, because that's what the standard of success is. You you know, today because loan. You know, you like this guy every month
Yeah.
Because you bit off more than you can chew. So I don't feel like Zaga now controls everything. If I'm gonna make a decision or I want this for life, I will probably will solely be for Yaga or my personal desires, not because of Zaga. Because I got Zaga and here I am. I'm an actor, I got DJ, I know Shabaku TV, you know, and I got Nyoko.
Yeah.
I got Nyoko. I hear so many of my friends saying, Nanka says until I get million yaka, I million.
And if here you are,
and if there wasn't, if I wanted to kill a million, quite you know, so it is possible that and but either way.
Because I'm saying this because as a public figure, we spoke about the society, the pressures of the society. As a public figure, you know, so it's that thing you also need to make sure you maintain the standard like, you know, there's food, there's like
the reason why Korealo is because I afford whatever that I can.
Yeah.
Whatever that I've been blessed with, you know, if by 2 or by 3, it means I'm able to maintain that without going overboard. Since I get a basket 5,000, 200, like, you know, if since like I afford but so for me to say about a 60, it means I want to be able to afford 60. I'm not saying about a 60 in this level or in this stage because I probably run away. But then it's a if you get a 6, I want to be in a position where I can afford 6, but I'm not gonna let money, because like I said to you, the drive thing after I need to have money for this person. So should there be one on the way now? Yeah. I'm gonna hustle like nobody's business.
Hustle hard.
It means you elevate with that as well. I'm not saying it's like I'm pushy. I'm just saying, you know, I need to be in a position where I can be able to afford this lifestyle that I've chosen for myself. If I say what is about 2 today, you know, it means that's my reality now. I can't run away from that reality. It means I must work and match that reality. So this, I'm not gonna say if I start this so now, so I wanna make this decision because I'm feeling to change overnight. Change overnight. I know of a story. I don't know if the bank shy, but I heard of a story where these people, there was this couple, they found out they were pregnant and they were like, you know, are so sharp financially, whatever, and you know, and they did whatever that the law allows them to do to make sure that they're not pregnant anymore. You know, I think after like a year, their life changed, man. Their life changed after like a year. This one got Spanesa high, sponsorship high. They became so good by the estating, but now the one is not there, and that pain and that thing stays with you. If only maybe no suffer for this year, but look at how life is so beautiful. Apparently they're staying with one or because they can't have kids anymore.
Hey, that's very sad.
Nelo mi one fela old. Nelo na one mudimu itse wena go fa one.
Ya chaya.
Wa ibusa ba back to sender. Okay, cool, thank you for playing. We saw what I knew when it's hard. So I knew how
Let's see now how to
yeah, now it's like I feel like about routine you know, tapping yeah, so this like the baby thing is very, very sensitive, man. Like because like I said, in future, presence how it does. You don't want to find yourself for trend screening or something and stuff like that. So whatever decision we is whether negative or positive, make sure you make it for yourself first.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do the thing for an up. So for me to say I want a big family, I do, and that's for me. But if Zaga Young restrict that honanong, if you crack or sadness, you know, the swimmer. But because that's what we're working towards having money.
We all want money.
And if I get to a level where I'm like, yeah, just now I have money, you know, because that's what I believe when I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm working towards that every single day. So it means if I do get to that level and now I can't have this family, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. No amount of money is worth that.
It will hit home. Yeah, eventually it's gonna hit home.
Yeah, so I don't look at Zaga as a measure of success in future. Like you can set out to do something and be successful at it or successful.
So the pressures of industry when I do have it.
What pressures are those? Key pressures in the industry.
No, you know how industry is. You know that there's when you feel like you are at a certain level where you feel like, okay, now I need to be, you know, driving. I need to be, you know, staying there. I need to make sure, you know, my kids go to the school. I need to make sure, you know, all these pressures that comes with being in the industry.
Yeah, I don't think those are the only. I don't think those are the pressures of the industry. They're the pressure of the pressures of the society. You know. I think because there's people that are Baba Pelang sharp and we don't even see them. We don't even see them. There's people that have more money than most artists, and we don't see that. You know, so the pressure industry give the same pressure as society where people are like, I want a Lamborghini, I want a mansion, I want this, that. But now I said with myself and I'm like, do I really want these things or have I been made to want them? You know, because like the social media controls so much of where they put these pictures behind you, you know, but the musician gets more with the quality nice dimension and there's like, hey, I'm successful, hey, and you're like, okay, this is what success looks like. And now you're chasing that as a measure of your success, you know. As far as I'm concerned, if my success was I mean, like, go spanning sale and kick in the industry and do this that I'm doing. If that was my success or my goal, it means I am successful in my own right. Nice. So if I'm gonna put another goal in front of me and say I'm gonna reach this level and I get to it, it means I'm successful in that as well. But if we're not really mentioned as success, then there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But then if I don't have one, don't think I'm not successful. That's your idea of success, not mine. It's not my idea of success. So that's like I cannot pressure because I would say maybe I can like every day like sharp or whatever is sharp or music in a school. In the way you get life, I got think grand. And if God can bless me with more, then away, thank you. And yes, but I'm not gonna stress my life every single day. Paint a picture, because that puts pressure on you to a point where you feel like you failed my life in. Course I grade would say. There's so many people who are enough for Baba private school. But he still feels like a failure because more than that. Yeah. You know? There's like a driver polo, but you like about Mercedes. So you feel like polo how you failure. You know? When there's someone who's want to come out on some polo failure. So you gotta just be grateful for whatever it is that you have. This thing just puts pressure on you like that. So now the pressures the only pressure that I have now is hotola span. I see so many people working now and something doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, they're doing that. And that's the level that I want to get to, but not for Nyogo, not for Pelaso. The money is nice, it can come with it. That's why we're doing it partially. But at the end of the day, for me, it's I just want to span. You know, I don't have pressure. Yeah,
as long as I can provide it.
I don't have the pressure. Like what no mentioning. I'm not saying if what on fire on that. You know, if you're saying to me if you took to benzing, you can drive or get la ring. But I'm not gonna beat myself up and get stress. I need to get. Nah, that's not how I look at life. There's so many beautiful things more life now. You look into your kids' eyes and you see so much of life they have to do, you know, and those are the beautiful moments more life thing. That's your mom still alive, is your dad still alive. Are you spending time with them? Are you telling them you love them? Are your siblings? You see them. There's so many things that more spiritual than that. I know this dream here, the thing that we're doing now is a dream for what to buy.
True.
For what to buy. And then imagine now there's so many people that are dreaming to have your life, and we're not to go and we feel like, hey, man, I cannot Benz. You know? That's why let's be grateful for wherever go thing, because that's what you can handle for now. That's what God has opened for you for now. And if there will be more than that in time, not for me to stress about it today. Pressure industry. I don't have any pressure at all. My only stress I wanna work, I wanna keep working, I wanna be able to provide. Mama 2000 you know, that's why for me that's the pleasures of life and not the pressure. But I don't have any pressure at all. Nice. I don't have any pressure at all. If it thing, if I think. Yeah.
So to all the other fathers out there, Jack, what words is it that you'd like to share with them as a little time away, or no? This is what I want to say to you guys, or whatever it is, whether it's a present father, an absent father, whatever that is.
Now I would say, I think I want to say to my gents, you know, whether you've chosen.
Yeah.
Whether you've chosen to be a father, or whether you wake up and tomorrow you're a father, because sometimes that's how it happens, you know. But the moment you realize or you find out that you're going to be a dad, I would say, it's almost like you're going from being a boy to being a man. And I just want to say to people, or to my gents, to say you need to really embrace, you know, make that transition a smooth one. You know, allow it. Understand that you are moving now from being, look, about 19 years old.
Yeah.
The moment you find out that you're going to be a dad, it means you are now responsible for your whole human being. It means the tendencies are how it's about. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying uska jola. I'm not saying uska para whatever. I'm saying understand that you are now responsible for a whole new person. And once you wear that hat, or once you wear those shoes, everything else will make sense after that, because they your responsibility in all entirety. They get responsibility from financially to emotionally to spiritually. And you know, those are the little things, but there's also the big things that require you to be present. So make sure you wear that hat, girl timer now, you know. Think about when you were a child and your dad was in the picture.
There you go.
You know, you were looking up to this man on some kinta toaka, and I want this from them, I expect this, that. That's how much like again, you know he had to step up and kick the dog. You know, exactly. So that's you now. Now that's you. You have this little person. So you need to wear that hat. You need to wear those shoes. So wear them in all entirety. Just be present. Be there. Lost na nyongo. Don't beat yourself up. You know. Just make sure if bakhana ibe bona bakhana. Mareska ba gore le ka sana the conversation between mama le ngwana is papa gona sting, papa gona tshabile. You know, ebe gore if o le neta mmotse gore na tla tlo go batla fana ne ke gana cause na sna chelete. Re bona how that conversation will go.
Yeah.
So don't do things saying gore you gradi this pana against wena, because when you stay away with ammunition, because that's what they're going to tell the child.
Yeah, that's true.
And imagine again, you being the child and your mom saying to you, "Eh papa ho na utshabile na sa go batla." How would that make you feel? You know, you wouldn't want that. So just don't do anything that you wouldn't want being done to you. You know better. Khona is very, very crucial. Everybody like bana di parents bana le life e betere, you know. Le nna khona ne kisa ngwana sekolo le ngwana wa tisetso I mean, one I have more than 13 fish mole. What is it also clip or like a bag, you know, the pressures are real. So think about those beer theses.
Hey, no, by the way, whatever you doesn't mean
no, get example. Exactly. Should I use a different name? Guys, beer Thomas. Well, boy, so yeah, just be there. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
To my time, that's all I'm going to say.
There you go, but I mean, like, what we're trying to do every single time, just you know, as fathers, you know, share, you know, a couple of words of wisdom so we can see how we can actually, you know, change what we are perceived in the society as men. You know, we're just trying to do that, build to actually stop that stumbling block, you know, around, that is actually, you know, within us. But other than that, there's something I wanted to say, but I'm not gonna say.
I wonder.
But other than that, Jack, thanks very much for coming through. Yeah, no. Thanks very much for coming through, Jack. You know, it's good. Hopefully, the next time I and share, you know, 1 or 2 words for Majita out there for all the fathers. We'll always make sure that, you know, we put out a word or 2 out there to all the fathers out there. But Fetu,
no, just really want I want the conversation to carry on in the comment section, you know, because I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say with regards to some of the things that we touched on. Defender, and you're more than allowed to do that. This is an open platform, and whatever that I said today was solely my opinion. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. This is just my opinion. If you agree with it, great. If you don't, with the comment section. Exactly. I do then learn opinion, and that's okay. That's allowed.
Yeah, you're definitely allowed. I mean, yeah. Follow, like, share every single thing. Whatever it is that you wanna say, please put it up in the comments. If there's anyone that you also want us to speak to, or, you know, to get a couple of mantu from Mutomo Nakhanange, please also then, you know, we'll take it from there.
And I wanna say this is a great initiative that you're doing, you know. And again, because when you think Papa, you think Mutomo Hall, you know, and it's great that you're getting the young dads here as well, because you know,
you can imagine is
the young guys that are you know, and most of us, if I'm speaking as from a point of opinion again, we don't know what we're doing. We do not know what we're doing, so platforms like this, they are a tusa, you know, because we really don't know what we're doing. That's why it's okay to do these things, is because we don't know what we're doing. You know, the dad that I had is not the dad that I am. I'm very young. I'm very, very young, and it means I learn as I go, you know. So these things, because the platform like this could be the reference or the guidance. So it's really great what you're doing. I really like it.
Thanks very much, Inchak. I think now most of the reason why we actually wanted to do this thing, this notion it's that's one thing that also self, because at the end of the day, you don't even know who to cry to, or who to speak to, you know.
You know, like earlier on, if abuse you know, sometimes I'm not saying all of them again, but if the shoe fits, so it's a because nobody really cares about someone.
That's the thing. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. You know, we
were once kids. Why was I just walk about? Like, I don't know, you think it's different. They get hurt the same way.
There you go.
So it means so why that thing has went away. They're still human. Some things they bother us more than they bother the women, and that's unfortunately the reality. You can't necessarily now go to more to. There's been this thing. I was talking to my partner the other day. We were having a discussion here. This thing. Whatever, you know. I don't remember, we were watching something on some channel, and then that thing came about, and she's like, no, I think it's a whole divorces or whatever. That's because Mona went to something. And I'm like, there's so much conversation around that, because the women babu. That's why it seems like Kibona like the
that is so true because one of
the main victims because babu. But if you were to sit down with men over one net, this is a safe space.
You'd be sure.
But you can't say that no man can comfortably, or not all men can comfortably come to Majita bare. No, it's not every man that can, because Musaidu how you pride and for you to take that and put yourself openly out there like that to say this is what's happening in my marriage. So that's why it's not that the stories are not there. It's just that haribu. So don't sit there and think we're not suffering or we're not encountering this, that. That's why sometimes we grab and bale blind go and it's because of these experiences. Because you know, so as a side, let's all take responsibility for it, man. But then I'm not taking away from anything. I'm just saying, mainly you know, and there's always a story behind why are they the way or why things are the way they are. So we really need to give them a listening ear. So I like what the platform is doing.
Oh yeah, no, Tebs and Chaka, thanks very much for coming through. You know, your 2 cents. Hopefully, whatever it is that we're doing, it's out there. You know, like we said to all the fathers out there. But yeah, other than that, by fair to please, just make sure you tune in every single time for fathers. Don't miss out. Like we said, if you want to share your story, you want us to have anybody, please do let us know in the comment section. Whatever it is that you want to say to us, please do say it. This was For Fathers.
Yeah, lem following. Lunale following. Tebogo Sefora, lem following. All the platforms, lem following, lem booking.
Yeah.
Like if you wanna see me, speak to me. Bukanga no more.
Yeah, Tebogo Sefora. Thank you.